breaking news for you. First breaking news is from Mekelle, capital city of Tigray, and the other is from Sudan. Once again, on Mekelle, airstrikes have been conducted today. We got confirmation a few minutes ago that Mekelle has once again been hit by Ethiopian Air Force. This is the fourth time that Ethiopian Air Force has conducted airstrikes on Tigray. On Monday, Ethiopian Air Force targeted some places in Mekelle. Then yesterday, on Wednesday, Ethiopian Air Force targeted Mekelle. Then after a few hours, some airstrikes were conducted on central Tigray. Gale, Woreda was hit. Now, today is the fourth time that Ethiopian Air Force has hit Mekelle. It's very much clear now, viewers, that Ethiopian government has decided to conduct airstrikes regularly. Tigray Defense Force will have to devise a strategy, a military strategy, how to defend from these airstrikes, how to secure its military assets. It seems that Ethiopian Air Force, Ethiopian National Defense Force is now mainly relying on air power. They do have air superiority because TDF does not have any fighter jets, any bombers, any drones. Ethiopian government is using its weapon. It has an advantage. Can TDF counter these airstrikes? In yesterday's video, we discussed in detail how TDF can counter these airstrikes. TDF will have to devise a strategy because it seems the airstrikes will continue in coming days as well. Now, Tigray government is saying that civilians are being targeted. These are strikes against civilians, but Ethiopian government has released statements. It is informing us about targets. It says that military targets are being hit in these airstrikes. Secondly, viewers, pressure is definitely building on Dassi front. TDF was pushed back from Dassi, I think 4 days ago. Then we saw airstrikes yesterday, and after that, once again, TDF managed to get close to Dassi. In the next video, I'll try to update you from Dassi. So while ENDF is not making any gains on the ground in Amhara, it's resorting to airstrikes. Civilians are being killed, no doubt about that, viewers, that though military targets are being hit, but civilians are also being killed. Collateral damage is part of airstrikes, viewers. Whenever airstrikes are conducted, wherever they're conducted, collateral damage always happens. You cannot avoid collateral damage. Ethiopian government denies any civilian killings, but civilians are being killed. Targets are also being hit, which Ethiopian government has decided to hit military targets, viewers. What will happen? It depends upon TDF strategy, how TDF will counter these airstrikes. Secondly, viewers, we have breaking news from Sudan. Massive protests are underway these minutes in Sudan. A few hours ago, I informed you about these protests. Now, in the streets of Khartoum, in other parts of Sudan, tens of thousands of Sudanese are protesting. Who are they protesting against? Can we say these protests are against the Sudanese military? On Saturday, Sudanese military-backed protests were held in Khartoum. People protested in front of Sudanese presidential palace. They set up tents as well there. Now it seems that Sudanese politicians are now trying to flex their muscles. They're saying that you cannot have your way, Sudanese military. People are angry, they are frustrated. In Sudan, unemployment, inflation are on the rise. Economic conditions are worsening. People are fed up with this conflict between politicians and Sudanese military. What will happen? It's very unclear, uncertain views, because in eastern part of Sudan, there are protests already happening, which are backed by, some sources say, which are backed by Eritrea, and Ethiopian military is also behind the protests in eastern Sudan. Some sources say, though Bija tribe elders, they deny all these claims. In eastern part, Bija tribe is protesting against civilian government. In Khartoum today, people are out on the streets against Sudanese military. We can say that these protests are in support of Sudanese politicians. Now, the confrontation between Sudanese politicians and military, it is going to intensify. US is standing on the side of Sudanese politicians. Just a few hours ago, we saw a statement from Anthony Blinken supporting these protests. He called for these demonstrations. Very interesting statement he issued on his Twitter account. Watch a few video clips from the streets of Sudan showing how massive these protests are in Sudan. Thank you for watching.